What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word movement? Now my answer would have to be the movements you gotta make to land that perfect kickflip on a skateboard.
Yeah! That was legitness.
Or maybe yours is a little different than mine and you think about the movements you gotta make to win the video game or to do the latest TikTok dance. The truth is, when you look up the word movement, it has so many different meanings. It can refer to music, a development in a story, a change in position, or it can mean exactly what we've been talking about, and that is a group of people working together to accomplish something. We said this last week that a movement is more than just a single event. It's not just a one and done thing that you do in your life and then you hit the off switch and it's over. No, it's about a lifestyle. It's a constant state of motion for the sake of others. If we as a generation want to be the change that we want to see, then we have to define our lives by always helping others. Okay, now that's easier said than done, and it can be easy to talk about it, but I want to talk about the obstacle that we might face when we try to live out our lives serving others. And it starts with one simple question. What am I gonna get out of it? Come on, have you ever caught yourself asking something like that before you jumped into a serve opportunity? Of course, we all have. Whether it's serving here at church or at school, we've all asked that question, what will I be doing? Or is it gonna be hard? Or what I feel like I always ask is, who's gonna be there? Cause they're like, if the boys aren't gonna be there, I don't know, man, I might just sit this one out. Or maybe you're here and you're thinking to yourself, man, that's just not my thing. Or I don't really have an important job, I'm just a middle schooler, and so does it even matter if I go? Even those of us who serve on a regular basis can identify with this on some level. So if that's you, it's okay. There's no shame because we've all been there. So now that we've leveled the playing field, I'm gonna get real with you for a second because I love you. When we say that a movement is an effort to change or accomplish something, oftentimes, whether we realize it or not, we want that something to be us. We expect the ones to be changed. We want to accomplish something. In other words, when it comes to a movement, we often want to be the focus. And in all the reasons or excuses not to serve, there's one common thread. You. You're thinking about yourself, and that creates a huge obstacle to a movement. Asking ourselves what we get out of serving is the wrong question entirely. And it's a question that's holding us back from leaving an impact on the world that we want to have. So some of you are probably wondering, well, if it's not about me, then what's it all about? Today we're gonna look at a passage from the Bible that I think will give us an idea. We're jumping in the book of James, and James was actually the brother of Jesus, and he believed in him. Now, I don't know how many of you would believe in your brother, but I don't think I would, and I love my brother, okay? Essentially, the question James is asking throughout his entire book is, how should we be living? If we're followers of Jesus, how should we live our lives? And how should our lives look different than the lives of those who don't follow him? Here's what he says in James chapter 1, verse 27. Pure and genuine religion in the sight of God the Father means caring for orphans and widows in their distress and refusing to let the world corrupt you. James is telling us straight up that serving others is supposed to be what we are all about if we're followers of Jesus. So what's the point of serving others? Those who can't take care of themselves, the ones who don't have advocates, the people who are alone or that no one else is looking to help. According to James, they are the point. The people you are serving are the point of your service. But they aren't the only ones. James knew that in his culture, he and his friends were the representatives of Jesus and his movement. And he also knew that the best way he could spread the name of Jesus and further the movement of God was to take care of the people who could not take care of themselves. In fact, it was taking care of the poor, the hurting, and the sick that made the followers of Jesus so unique. They were built different, and it was because they did what no one else was doing. They got their hands dirty helping the helpless. And in doing that, they spread Jesus' name and made a big deal of God in their community. You see, their service didn't just impact the ones they were serving, but it also impacted the ones who saw them serving as well. I think if we were to ask James what the point of his movement was, he would probably say two things: to take care of the people who can't take care of themselves, and to represent Jesus while we do it. And this still holds true for us today. What should be the point of our service? The people we're serving and the movement of God. If we want to be a part of a successful movement, then we have to open our eyes to the fact that we may be caring about the wrong things. It doesn't matter if we start a movement or join one that already exists. It doesn't matter if we create something with a huge group or we create it all by ourselves. It doesn't matter how big the movement or how small our part is. It doesn't matter how interesting or how hard the work is that we're asked to do. It doesn't matter who else is going or how cool it is. These things are not the point. Serving isn't about you, it's about who. Who are you trying to help? And who are you representing while you do it? The people you are serving and the God whose name you serve, that's the point. Jesus had a heart for the broken and the poor, and he actively moved to meet their needs at a great cost and to no benefit to himself. If we as a group could have this same attitude as Jesus, it would change the way we think about serving others. It changes the question from what do I get out of this to who do I get to serve? So as we're about to head into small groups, remember that you're moving for the sake of others and for the God who called you to that service. They are the point. They are the purpose. And when that's the point, you may just find your own life being changed in the process.